Morning, this is Brian. Today is Saturday, January 15th, 2021. I am in Angeles National Forest on this overcast morning. I am parked right on Angeles Forest Highway N3, not to be confused with Angeles Crest Highway, which goes along the crest of the mountains. Angeles Forest Highway goes from Clear Creek Junction down to Palmdale. So I'm at basically at the junction of Angeles Forest Highway and Upper Big Tujunga Canyon Road, not to be confused with Big Tujunga Canyon Road. So Angeles Forest and Upper Big Tujunga. So I'm not that far from one of my new favorite haunts, Monte Cristo Campground, which is just a little ways up, not that far. Today, I'm on the opposite side of the highway because Monte Cristo's on the right side if you're heading north. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to attempt to find a firebreak here on the west side of Angeles Forest Highway and try to follow that firebreak to a nice little lookout point about 1.5 miles along the ridge. It's a small unnamed peak that's 4,459 feet in elevation, so we'll call it Peak 4459 for all intents and purposes. So my job now is, there's supposed to be a firebreak that leads along the ridge over towards that area. So my job right now is to locate it. I thought it'd be a little closer to the road. Let's see. Sometimes gotta do a little investigating. But you can see off in the background there is Josephine Peak. One of the more rugged peaks here in the San Gabriels. It's kind of at the back end of what we call the front range of the San Gabriels, even though it's a little further in than, say, San Gabriel Peak and Mount Wilson. So let's see, can I find a firebreak that'll take me up this way? My understanding was that the firebreak will be along here somewhere. And let's see if this is it, because it's supposed to follow the ridge up to along the ridge, basically up to that peak and beyond. So basically my goal today is roughly a 3-mile out and back, 1.5 miles to Peak 4459. It's one of those you'll see listed on the topo maps. It'll be just northwest of Monte Cristo Campground, of course across the highway from it. It's not even listed on peakbagger, but it is listed on the topos. At least the topo maps I read on peakbagger. Topo maps will have the elevations of summits, so it does have an elevation designation. But this firebreak is supposed to undulate along the ridge to get up there. So it's about 1.5 miles out when I mapped it out on Google Earth. So I guess basically what I gotta do is start following this until I reach the highest point. It'll be the highest point until it goes down on the north side of it, and then it really climbs on the further north. It'll really start climbing towards basically start leading up to the hills leading towards Mount Gleason's Ridge, I believe. And looking over here, there's another peak climbing opportunity over here. So you can see there's a Firebreak going up this way. I think it leads to that promontory up there. So it looks like with all the Firebreaks in the area, you can make some pretty interesting adventures out here. So right now we're starting at an elevation of 3,300 feet. Roughly about 3,300 down at the bottom. So the difference between here and up there, the peak, is about 1,200 feet. But with the undulations, the elevation gain will probably be closer to 1,300 feet or so, give or take. So I'm going to go ahead and start climbing up this, and I'll update you along the way. Should be an interesting day. I'm looking forward to finally getting out for the first time here in 2022. The reason why it took me so long to get out here is I had to wait for my registration to come in the mail. Yes, I had to wait for it in the mail because the DMV wanted me to mail in proof that I had a recall work done on my car. And when you do it by mail, it takes a much longer time. And I was a little late, honestly, so that's kind of bad on me, but it just took a while to get to my house. But it took till last Tuesday, the Tuesday it just passed, to get to me. So at least it's here, and I'm out hiking. I had a late start today. It's probably already about 11:30 by now. So that's why I'm not doing a really long hike. Don't want to be doing this out in the middle of the dark. Though I do have lighting if I need it. Alright. Starting to already get some nice views. Assuming this is going to be quite a bit of steep up and down, so I got my work cut out for me for this relatively short hike. So just have to pace myself and get some good pictures and some great video hopefully today. So come along with me as I attempt peak 4459, Angeles National Forest. I'll see you on my next clip to update you on how things are going.